I'd like to begin by asking everyone to take their please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Councilwoman Burke.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Those are pretty powerful words, that Pledge of Allegiance. Sometimes we just say it and we don't think about what we're saying, but it really is quite powerful. Especially when we think about some of the challenges and acrimony that we're facing across this country today. And we have some students with us today who represent the law at their young age. They participated in mock trial. They are from Bayshore High School, and they are the county champs. They went to states. They didn't win. We don't win everything, but they did really, really well. They represented us well. Represented the town of Islip. We're so very, very proud of you. The team competes against other local students in a courtroom setting where they learn legal procedures and the traditions of our legal system. So all the attorneys that are out there, and I think there's one behind me, or a few behind me, watch out, here they come. They did, as I say, participate statewide. They were up in Albany, and even just that whole experience itself is kind of exciting for all of you. So without further ado, I ask them to please come forward and be recognized, and recognize their coaches. And the coach is not the correct term.
Coach? Coach. Yeah, coach.
It is coach. Okay, come on up, all of you, please.
Watch the wires. Squeeze.
Yeah, stand side degrees.
Can we stand sideways, 45 degrees?
There you go.
Yeah.
There. Get comfortable.
Facing home.
Right here. 1, 2. Couple more.
School over today?
Yes, it's more.
Thank you so very, very much.
Sure, just give everyone very brief. I've asked the coach to say a few words, and very impressive that, especially this time of the year when everyone's trying to wind everything up, that the principal of Bayshore High School took the time to be here, so thank you very much.
First of all, I'd like to thank Supervisor Carpenter and the town board for recognizing our outstanding achievement. The Bayshore High School mock trial team worked very, very hard. We defeated the reigning county champions who managed to defeat us twice, who are not an Islip Town team. So we came back and got them in a very, very competitive atmosphere. And every one of these students put in so much time and so much effort, and I couldn't be more proud. So I want to thank them for their time and their hard work. I'd also like to take the time to thank the administration of Bayshore High School, excuse me, for their unwavering support, including our principal, Mr. Robert Pashkin, and the Director of Social Studies K-12, Dr. Joseph Lemke, for their unwavering support. So I thank them, and thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, that wraps up our presentations today. Thank you so much for coming down.
We will begin the afternoon with our scheduled public hearing for the board's consideration. I call upon the town clerk, Olga Murray, to please read the hearing notice.
Thank you. Today's hearing is on the transfer of the properties located at 27 Booth Street,
Central Islip, and 943 Netton Street, Bohemia, under the CDA's direct sale program.
Are there any questions for the board? Oh, Sal, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Madam Supervisor and Town Board members. My name is Salvatore Matera, Assistant Director of the Town of Iceland CDA, located at 15 Shoreline Bay Shore, New York. The item before you this afternoon involves authorizing the CDA to deed 27 Gould Street in Central Iceland to Natalie and Donovan Curley, and 943 Netton Street in Bohemia to Thomas Messina. Both were approved by the CDA Board of Directors on May 11, 2017. Both applicants were selected through a lottery process and were found to be fully qualified for direct sale by the CDA. We therefore ask for your support for this resolution. Please note that this resolution is subject to the permissive referendum. If you have any questions, I'll take them now.
Thank you, Sal. Are there any questions? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve?
Motion by Councilman Flatteren, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. Okay, before we go to the public portion, we have two updates today, and I'd like to ask our Commissioner of Parks and Public Works, Tom Owens, if he would please come forward and give us an update on Clemente. I know everyone has been working feverishly, so if you could tell us where we are at.
Good afternoon, Madam Supervisors, members of the Town Board, and Islip residents. Thank you for the opportunity to address you today and provide an overview of the progress made at Roberta Clemente Park. These town-wide efforts have seen important advances throughout the facility, with the long-term goals of improving open park coming into focus. The maintenance and care of the facility has been our top priority. Town crews have worked feverishly to clean up and remove overgrown vegetation, unsafe tree limbs, as well as raise the tree umbrellas so all public safety personnel and our police force have a clear view of the park. The playground area has been cleaned and restored, including repairing and replacing of swings and other features. The rusted backstop has been removed and the field is being prepared as a multi-use field. Both the large ball field and the basketball courts are being groomed and cleaned and will soon be available for community use. New bleachers, benches are on site, bike racks will be coming soon. The improvements are not limited to inside the park. The park's exterior has been upgraded as well. Our planning department, under the direction of Ron Meyer and our new town engineer, have started a safe routes to school project, installing curbing and sidewalk along the park on Nolan Street. In addition, the new sidewalk, the fencing will be replaced on the northern border of the park, and 10 ADA compliant sidewalk ramps are being installed in the vicinity of the park to improve access. Following the remediation, work on the field is progressing rapidly. The established approved process for the phase of work has required intense coordination between the town, state DEC, and contractors. Filling and leveling the field, including hydro-seeding the entire area, has been a difficult job. We'll soon reach the final steps this summer. I appreciate everyone's time. If anybody has any questions, I'll give them.
Thank you very much, Tom. I know you made reference to the coordination between the environmental consultants, the DEC, obviously the town, but that really sort of added to the time that this all took, because every step of the process had to be closely scrutinized. So please thank your staff for the incredible job they've done throughout this whole thing. It's been a challenge.
Help with the town, from the town attorney's office and all the entities in town to keep it going. And Environment Science is actually out there now as we speak, monitoring as well as no combat positive. So thank you.
How far is the hydro-seeding? Because the last I saw, it was about a third of it was completed.
We're more than halfway done at the time, and we're preparing to put some temporary irrigation, although God has been blessing us with a lot of rain, so it's going pretty well.
Okay. Any questions for the commissioner? Okay,
Thank you.
hearing none. Let us go. We have one more update. Based on a lot of the comments that we heard at the last meeting of the town board, particularly in reference to the parking, we did have a press conference a week ago Friday announcing some of the modifications that have been made based on some of the input that we've had. It has been received well, but I thought it would be a good idea to have Peter Kletchka, who's been working on this program since the beginning, and it's been 4 years, 5 years, it's been a long time, to give us an update on where we are with the program today. Peter?
This is for the record, and I made copies for the board.
Good afternoon, Madam Supervisor, members of the board, Madam Town Clerk. Peter Kletchka, 401 Main Street. I take this opportunity to put an update on the record at this public hearing regarding the parking management program. The parking management program was instituted to address numerous parking-related problems in the hamlet of Bay Shore due to increasing demand for parking in an organized and managed fashion in this revitalized community. The town of Islip, in response to sincere concerns by business owners, the local Chamber of Commerce, and other invested parties recognize the obligation to act in a proactive manner. Management of the town assets by way of employing pay stations to organize parking and ensure enhanced function with technology-aided enforcement is a proven method that has been successful throughout the surrounding area, as well as in many of the most vibrant communities on Long Island. Our program was strategically designed by a nationally recognized parking consulting firm with input from town officials and Bay Shore stakeholders. As a result, the town began the process of identifying specific areas of concern and developing management plans that would be tailor-made for the locations. Phase 1 of the program was designed for the Maple Avenue dock. This town-owned facility was in dire need of a program that would organize and manage the varying parking demands, including but not limited to fire island visitors and employees, restaurant employees and patrons, freight boat services, and general recreational use. A program was implemented that is in its third successful season and has provided a balance between all parties who require use of this facility. In fact, the program, with its flexible and fluid nature, has attracted one of the finest restaurants on Long Island and has given confidence to investors in opening a brand new and fully renovated restaurant on the site of the historic Gil Clark's restaurant, which my parents certainly frequented in the 60s, I'm sure, and met at the old Flynn's, which is now the Lake House, which I referred to here. So, history being history. Phase 2 of the program was implemented at the Bay Shore Railroad Station. After receiving approval for a managed parking program by the LIRR/MTA, the town designed a program that would designate specific zones for permit holders, ensuring a parking spot for commuters that during the summer months had previously been taken by Fire Island visitors. This complaint had been brought to the attention of the town by countless frustrated commuters who would be effectively shut out of available parking in the areas closest to the platform. In its second full year, the program has organized the once chaotic facility, essentially giving it back to our hard-working commuters. Revenue from the program has been used to increase security with the installation of cameras at the station. This initiative has led directly to three arrests by the Suffolk County Police Department, which is a great thing. Additional upgrades include newly installed security lighting, concrete and curb repair, in addition to the striping and signage that accompanied the original program implementation. As announced at last Friday's press conference, an irrigation system will be installed to assist in the beautification of the facility, as well as plans for the resurfacing of the lot, in addition to continuing curb and brick repair. These efforts have been made possible by the revenue collected by the management program that has helped offset these costs. Phase 3 of the program was implemented at the Bay Shore Marina. Because of the high demand for entrance into the marina generated by the numerous available activities and attractions, this facility had been experiencing great difficulties as entrance point due to the existence of a popular restaurant that resides within the marina and the challenges of the operation of the booth to allow for authorized entrance. A bottleneck of queuing vehicles and boats with trailers created a traffic condition that was potentially unsafe, as well as frustrating and inconvenient for visitors to this facility. The implemented program now allows for free flow into the marina for users of all the amenities while providing parking without fees to those who are in possession of a valid recreational card. Long-term parking at a value rate was also established to provide extended stays for those who visit the town's own Atlantic Beach, whose ferry runs from the marina facility. Phase 4 of the program was implemented on Main Street and select side streets within the target zone. This effort was designed to provide parking turnover for businesses residing on Main Street who had previously been subjected to all-day parking by employees and downtown area residents. This organized approach has allowed for streamlined enforcement, seen significant results, and has been recognized by local businesses in the Chamber of Commerce as a successful strategy in making parking available to business patrons. Phase 5 of the program focused on a comprehensive plan for the downtown public parking lots. The plan was conceived with an eye towards expanding the exact philosophy that bore successful results on Main Street. The establishment of zones that provided designated areas for the multitude of users of the facilities was implemented. While the vast majority of the parking in the town-owned lots remained free, These zones that were created allowed options for employee parking while continuing to encourage the turnover of parking stalls within the lots that were closest to the business, to follow the example that was successful on Main Street. Since then, several adjustments have been made for specific accommodations at the request of businesses, including the relocation of designated 12-hour/employee zones and an increase in free parking areas. The town will be installing shelters within the lots at appropriate pay stations to provide a more convenient user experience during inclement weather, as well as to maximize the life of the equipment. At a press conference held at the Bay Shore Railroad Station on Friday, June 9th, Supervisor Carpenter announced that weekly daytime parking will be made available for free in the back parking lots between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. As has been stated from day one of the parking management program, the town of Islip is flexible and willing to adjust the program to suit the sincere needs and desires of all invested parties, both business and resident. This change will take effect very shortly.
Thank you very much, Peter. I know that you and the rest of the team that worked on this for a very, very long time has really taken it very seriously. There have been countless meetings, maps and outlining every single business that was in the downtown, trying to determine what particular businesses might need the free 15-minute parking, where someone may want to run in and grab a pizza. So a lot of attention, and that moves and changes too. And I think the thing that we want everyone to understand is that it is a fluid program, going with the needs of the community, and especially the businesses and those patronizing the businesses, because it was a real problem with people parking the day overnight, just taking advantage of the fact that it was not managed at all. There has been one more change, because we did some research, again, based on some of the feedback that we had received, and I think Councilman Cochran has that information to share today that I think will be met with a lot of good response.
Thank you, Supervisor. Pete, all the hard work you've done, Jerry, Kevin, Dave, all the suggestions you've heard from businesses. Nikki grabbed my ear, and we call this a Nikki rule. We're going to lower the parking fee for expired parking and overtime parking from $75 down to $30. So when you listen to businesses, I think this is the right way to go by the feedback that we've heard from especially the ones in the Marina District, that their system is working for them, but they felt it was too much. And we went, the staff went around, found 7 municipalities. Babylon Village is $35, Port Jeff is $30. So we're going to have ours now down to $30 for these expired meters and failure to pay. That's what.
Yeah, single and separate violation fee above and beyond other related parking fees that have been blanket ordinance in the town for quite a while, but this would be established as an overtime parking fee exclusively, and certainly I look forward to that resolution.
And I can't thank you enough. You guys walking Main Street, listening to and the marinas and listening to businesses. This is a direct result of all the hard work you've done. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Any questions, comments? No. Thank you, Peter. Get what we get is good, huh? All right, that is the updates for now. We will go to the public portion. Just to remind everyone, you have 3 minutes, and we have a timer there that each speaker can see, so that you can kind of keep track of your time. And we want to hear from you. It's not a question and answer. We really want to hear what you have to say. So you have your full 3 minutes. You will not be interrupted. And I would just ask the people in the audience, if they would, please hold comments, cheering or jeering or whatever, to please let the person have the respect of their 3 minutes, their time. Everyone will have their turn at the microphone. So the first person to sign up to speak today is Nelsina Day. Nelsina?
Good afternoon, Supervisor Carpenter and distinguished board members. I'm coming to you again today to, what do you know?
Your name and address.
Oh, I keep forgetting that. Nelsina A. 27 East Cherry Street, Central Islip, New York. You're welcome. I have been following all of the work that's being done on Roberto Clemente. I'm quite sure a lot of people have seen me out there with a camera shooting from outside the fences and everything else. The community is very happy with what's going on, and they're just questioning when they're going to be able to get into the park. The summer is already here, and they would like to utilize some portions of it. That's number one. But I would really like to thank Tom Owens them for the hard work that they're doing. I notice even on Saturdays and some Sundays, they have been out there. So if you see me out there, Timberline, Peacock, Nolan, I'll be there with my camera. Got lots and lots of pictures. The next thing in line is you guys promised that Freeman Street would be done this summer. And I drove down Freeman and the potholes are getting bigger. So we can look into what we're going to do with Freeman Street.
That's on schedule, Supervisor.
And the next thing is Clayton Street Park. I know that the guys are working hard trying to get Roberto Clemente done, but we really need to get over there and do the tree line, cut down and clear out, because again, we're noticing people climbing through certain sections of the fence and using it as their home. And in the summertime, there'll be a lot of homeless people, and they like to use the back areas. And I'm surprised they haven't set the place on fire, because they do have barbecue grills and stuff like that. But we need to have a closer monitoring of the Clayton Street, because there is so many different ways that you can get in there when the gates are locked. Also on East Chestnut, around the sump area, that grass is taller than I am. So, we need to get that in beautification with the Central Islip, because Central Islip and Brentwood is going to be known as the best towns in the Suffolk County area. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Nelsina. And just to the issue that you raised about Clayton Street, that tree line is being raised. We are focusing on Clemente, but we have not lost focus of the other parks in the town. Everything is, a balancing act, and we're trying to address as much as we possibly can. And we did go over to Clayton Street with our public safety crew, Tony D'Amico, and the deputy, and also Suffolk County PD, and they sent their security detail out, looking over the area to make sure that we could address security needs in the best way possible, and we are working on that too. So thank you for coming down.
Thank you.
Orietta Olston. On deck is Mike Belford.
Good afternoon. My name is Roanna Alston, 23 East Sheriff Street, Central Islip. I just have one question I want to ask. Number 5, the time to approve the permit of the animal shelter. And what do they mean by the adopted something? Accepted. Number 5.
Well, it enables the animal shelter to accept any donations that anyone from the public would like to make. That basically is what that is.
Oh, okay. They still plan on getting a new shelter?
It is being worked on as we speak. There have been some changes requested, and we are working on it, and hopefully at the next town board meeting, we'll have the resolution for the animal shelter.
Oh, okay. And another thing, the TNR bridge is good, but the long waiting list. And another thing, they have a problem at 340 East Main Street in Central Islip. There's cats over there. I don't know how many, but it's a lot. There was a lady, she used to feed them. She passed away Saturday. And they're afraid somebody's going to poison them cats, and we could get it replaced, remove them somewhere else. So we need some help, get the cats out of there before they start poisoning them. I don't know the shelter would do anything about it.
Well, Mr. Heil is here, so I'm sure he's taking note of what you're saying. I have notes also.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Mike Belford. On deck is Roberta Palumbo.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Madam Supervisor and other members of the board. Thank you for this opportunity. I represent the Motor Organization, which, as many of you know, is led by the late Lou Motor, who was a longtime real estate developer and landlord to many of the businesses on Bay Shore's Main Street, and along its waterfront to include Cabin Bill's Sun, Cabin Bill's Marina, and more recently at the end of Maple Avenue with the relocation of the Lake House from Main Street to Maple Avenue Dock. We are now in the process of renovating the former mowing lawn, soon to be called the Whalers, and hopefully will be open within the next month. Despite the obvious parking challenges at the end of Maple Avenue, and in the midst of the town's rollout of the parking initiative, Matt and Eileen Connor braved us under lease with the Mulligans and moved their restaurant to a brand new state-of-the-art facility on the water. They opened just before Memorial Day, and the rest is history. We know we now have a terrific dining destination on the Bay Shore waterfront that draws many loyal patrons from all over Long Island. With all the negative energy that has been generated about the immediate parking program in and about Main Street, I want people to know that our experience dealing with the town is in securing adequate parking for the Lake House has been very positive. During the months before their opening, the Connors and I spent hours with John Cochran and those devising an parking scheme to ensure that there would be enough parking spaces to handle the expected turnover tapes. With the help of Peter Kletchko and Kevin Shires, we were able to work out a parking scheme allowing for ample 4-hour parking. And if we needed more, they would quickly adjust. And by extending the 4-hour parking area further down the pier. Previously, these spaces had been an assortment of 8, 16-hour, 24, and 72-hour spaces. I can't say that there weren't any fits and starts in the route going, but there was a workable, orderly, managed parking plan in place that was well monitored. With the help of an excellent valet parking service, parking was not nearly the problem that was predicted. And last summer, no one was turned away from the Lake House for lack of parking. But I want to publicly thank John Cochran and his team in this important aspect and had our back, and we deeply appreciate it. With Whalers about to open, we have, with the town's full cooperation, and worked out a simple, ample 4-hour parking to accommodate the turnover cadence for Whalers patrons, which will dovetail with the Lake House, utilizing the same valet service and with the assurance that more spaces are needed, they will be provided. My clients have made
Wrap up, please.
My client. She has that. Well, I'm just going to raise my voice a little bit. My clients have made and will continue to make a major investment at the end of Maple Avenue, and they have done so in reliance on a parking initiative that has been installed there as of a couple of years ago. I am sure that you can appreciate the success of these restaurants is heavily dependent on available and reliable parking. There is talk that some will have the entire parking initiative canceled and shut down. I do not know that you can appreciate how devastating that would be. We'd be returning to the Wild West days of unmanaged parking.
Your time is up, and the clerk needs your name and address for the record.
Yes, please.
Michael Melvin, 85 West Main Street, Bay Shore, New York.
Thank you, Mike. Next speaker, Roberta Palumbo. And on deck will be Patricia Robinson.
My name is Roberta Palumbo.
The other microphone on the right.
My name is
Just bring it
Roberta
down.
Palumbo.
There you go.
I live at 97 Brentwood Street, Bay Shore, New York, 11706. I am here today to discuss the issue of the home at 112 Brentwood Street in Bay Shore. It's a zombie house. It's disgusting. It's across the street from me. It's downgrading all the value of everyone's property in the area, and not much is being done with it. It's owned by the bank. The person who owned it was a friend of mine, and she passed away about 3 years ago. And her husband just left it. They were divorced, but he was living on the property in a trailer. And he just left to go other places. So it is with the bank, and not much is going to happen to it. It's not kept up. They don't come and do take care of the grass of the property at all. Nothing in the back is disgusting. The raccoons have come, and they have gotten into the vents, and the raccoons have gotten into my vents twice. That cost me $300 to repair each time. So it would be appreciated if you would have the bank get rid of that house. I don't believe boarding up is going to do it. The inside was full of cat feces and urine, and I don't think it can be sold. I really don't, and that's probably why they're not touching it. But I believe that property should be demolished, and it would be appreciated. And also, the last time I did it up, I spoke about this here at one of your board meetings, and this is the second time I'm here about it. I did call the fire marshal's office several times. I visited there twice, and this property really needs to go. We've had it. I mean, we've had a lot of zombie houses in our neighborhood, and we pay a lot of money in taxes. Bay Shore is being raised 40% for this. Not really. And last time I was here, Madam Supervisor, I did invite you to come and see the grass growing on Brentwood Street, and I told you in the spring we could plant flowers. Well, the grass is this high now, horizontally and diagonally. Could we please get Brentwood Street paved? We'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Roberta, it is on the agenda today, that particular parcel for board up and cleanup. And the commissioners here will make note of checking the paving status for that street.
Okay, thank you. The man next door to me, he's gone there a couple of times and he's mowed the property, but that shouldn't be necessary.
Absolutely not. Thank you. Patricia Robinson. And next up is Curtine Thaw.
My name is Patricia Robinson. I'm the co-owner of the Charitable Restaurant located at 123 Maple Avenue, Bay Shore. First, very quickly, allow me to express my thanks and gratitude to all of you for installing parking meters by me down in Bay Shore. We're currently going on our third summer with them, and to be fair, in the very beginning, they were a real source of irritation. However, almost immediately, my customers recognized their benefit. There is now a flow of parking where before it was a stagnant parking problem, while at the same time it increases the town's revenue, so thank you very much. In my opinion, anyone leading the charge against the parking meters is doing so for purely political reasons. Now on to my main topic. Today, I am here to adamantly and forcefully oppose the resolution to close Main Street at any point in Bay Shore on Wednesday evenings during July and August. The resolution, should it pass, would effectively place a chokehold on my ability to generate revenue during those days. We are a seasonal business that cannot absorb the losses that we would incur during the 2 months that make the majority of our income. We've been in Bay Shore for 30 years at the same location and have employed hundreds of locals in that time. This proposal would not only negatively impact my bottom line, but my entire staff's as well, along with all of the businesses in the surrounding area. We were never, ever notified of this proposal by Donna Perricone or any other members of the Chamber of Commerce of Bay Shore. Every other merchant that I have personally spoken to at this time has also never been made aware of the situation. There are businesses located on Main Street as well as south of Main Street that have only just become aware of the proposal because I phoned them and my staff member happened to find out the information because she saw an article in relation to that in the Greater Bayshore magazine. That is no way to do business anywhere. We are already subject to negative ramifications because of benefit runs, parades, and the art festival that closes down Main Street. 10 days ago, the art festival closed down Main Street. We had a 39% loss of revenue during that day. Any argument put forward on behalf of the closures can be met with a valid counter-argument. For example, if we are not completely cut off, only the residents of Bayshore are aware of the outside streets that lead to Maple Avenue and have access to for our restaurant. My customers drive down Main Street to get to Maple Avenue to turn down to get to my restaurant. That does not even include my out-of-town customers that would be hampered, their vehicular traffic would be hampered, and we depend on that for business. I have many non-local customers that would be completely lost if Main Street was shut down. If they said that we could use a tent to participate, the Suffolk County Health Department is one of the most prohibitive in the entire country. In addition to obtaining permits, which cost money, they have to be done in advance. We have to have refrigerated trucks, cooking equipment, and provide running water.
To wrap up, please.
No problem. In addition to trotting all of the food down. The Bayshore Chamber of Commerce accommodating Main Street restaurants to the detriment of businesses south of Main Street is patently unfair. I implore you to take into consideration what I have to say, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Next speaker, Curtine Thaw. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it.
Afternoon. I'm Curly Thor, 196 Powell Avenue, Central Islip, New York. I am here for Living Proof Church of God in Christ in Bayshore. Yes, I've been a member of this church for the past 4 years. I've been visiting before. They are great help to my family. I had special needs about 2 years ago, and they're the one who really helped me. My 18-year-old daughter now has special needs. She gets mental help and physical help from the church, transporting to appointments. My aunt died about 2 years ago. They are the one who helped me to give her a good burial. Thank you.
Thank you. Peggy Bergen. Or Bergen, I'm sorry.
No, it's Bergen. You did it right. Peggy Bergen, 15 Park Avenue in Bayshore. I represent Iron Surgical and Vascular. I came to your last meeting. I spoke about the needs of the medical community with regard to the parking meters. I did want to come and extend my gratitude for listening and for making the changes that Peter spoke about earlier. I feel there's a lot of people in this room that I did meet with at one time or another, and they all heard me and they took my concerns into consideration. I appreciate it. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. helps my patients, so on behalf of the patients and my doctors, I thank you. The only concern I do still have is just one little thing, and then after that, hopefully I don't have to do this anymore. My employees. I have some employees who don't work past 5 o'clock ever, so they did buy stickers that I'd like them to get a refund for. They don't need the stickers, it's not going to be necessary, and they are hardworking young girls, and they ask almost $70 for a sticker. And I just want to make sure that if I do have employees who don't have a sticker, but they do tend to work till maybe 7, because we are a doctor's office, I just want to know if there's a provision I can take so they don't have to lay out money for a sticker for an hour after 6 o'clock. That's really the only concern I have. Other than that, I'm very happy with the changes, but I just need to make sure that my employees don't have to stress out about at 6 I have to go punch it in the meter. So if you could just look into that and let me know if I can email anybody with the names of the people who did pay the stickers, just to get this money back to them as expeditiously as possible, that would be greatly appreciated. And again, thank you, all of you, for your time and effort. I appreciate it.
Thanks. Thank you very much, Peggy. Your concerns are duly noted. Anthony Tartaglia, and on deck is Betty Harris.
Can I bring these up? Sorry. Thank you.
Good afternoon, board members. My name is Anthony Tartaglia, 70 East Main Street, Bayshore, New York. I'm one of the founding members of the Bayshore Restaurant, the Bayshore Restaurant Committee, as well as the Bayshore's Alive by the Bay summer events. Senator Philip Boyle was dining in my restaurant, Verde Kitchen and Cocktails, over 2 years ago when we started talking about doing these events. He is a big supporter of our businesses, and he has repeatedly voiced his support for Alive by the Bay. Our Alive by the Bay events are designed to be almost identical to the Bayshore Arts Festival by the Bay in June, which has been a huge success for 17 years, attracting families from all over Long Island. Our proposed 4 dates for the summer of 2017 are Wednesday nights, July 12th, July 26th, August 9th, and August 23rd, from 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., with the streets being reopened and cleaned up by 10 p.m. These nights will focus on family-friendly activities and events, live music, arts, crafts, vendors, games for kids, and dining at our local restaurants. These nights will not be focused on drinking, and heavy drinking will not be tolerated. Bayshore is no longer a bar town, it is a food town, and we intend to keep it that way. Our town has been featured in dozens of recent publications due to the high standards of the restaurants that we work so hard to maintain. We've met with the 3rd Precinct to review our plans to ensure the safety of our community, and we've hired 15 licensed and trained security guards to work these events with us. We also have crews for setting up, breaking down, and cleaning up before, during, and after these events. We understand some of the concerns regarding Fire Island ferry traffic, so we've made up some large signs to redirect ferry traffic and waterfront dining traffic safely and efficiently. Volunteers will be set up in all critical locations to reroute traffic from Long Island Railroad all the way down to the ferry terminals. We asked to shut down Main Street between Shore Lane and Maple Avenue, with Shore Lane and Maple Avenue both remaining open. Then closing Main Street from Maple Avenue West to Ocean Avenue, with Ocean Avenue, Shore Lane, Gibson Street, South Clinton Avenue, Mechanicsville Road, 5th Avenue, and Maple Avenue all remaining open for ferry traffic. We have over 15 restaurants in the Bayshore Restaurant Committee that are all heavily involved in the planning of these events. We are working together as a team with our community to help make Bayshore a better place to live and visit. We have a lot of time and money invested, and we've already raised over $20,000, with Northwell Health being a large sponsor of $5,000. We estimate about 3,000 to 5,000 visitors for our first event on July 12th. People are excited. We have vendors, musicians, artists lined up, waiting for our phone calls. People will no longer have to travel to other towns for fun outdoor summer events.
Could you wrap up, please?
Sure. We acknowledge that our restaurant committee has made some mistakes along the way, but that's what business and community development is all about. Making mistakes and then learning from them and always reaching higher. We should have made better efforts to include our town leaders and all of our neighboring businesses, and for that we apologize. I believe that with a little help from our local government and our community, we can continue to help make Bayshore the best town on Long Island. With that being said, we respectfully request your approval for our Alive by the Bay community events. We are happy to use July 12th as a trial run and reconvene immediately after with the 3rd Precinct, Town of Islip, the Restaurant Committee, Fire Island Ferries, and anyone else who has any concerns or ideas, so we can work together.
Anthony, thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker, Betty Harris.
Good afternoon. My name this one he says. Good afternoon. My name is Betty Harris. I live at 105 2nd Avenue. That's the church. My home address is 44 Hilliard Avenue, Central Islip, New York. I'm here on behalf of Living Proof Church of God in Christ on 105 2nd Avenue. I am the pastor's wife. We've been there for 27 years. In the beginning, we started in 1990. We did have the tax exemption. Okay, a couple years after that, they took it away from us because they said we was not compliant to a CO. They want us to put an elevator in. Okay, I understand all of that, but then the town has given us a permit to build. We also bought other houses right next to each other, right there next to the church. We are in the process of starting to build. So I'm asking you to reconsider, please, and give us the tax exemption that we can also go forward and build in our church. We have been in the community. We have, the community is much better. The houses, a value has went up. We went there, it was only got, there was drug, it was a drug infested. We even bought one of the drug infested homes. It was drug infested. By us being in the community, now the houses, they built houses, the community is much better. Property value is up. We also have a pantry for the community, anybody in need. Also, we have the Boy Scouts, which is called the Venture Crew. It's for the boys and the girls. So we are doing stuff in our community, the churches, and we're there for helping anyone that needs hope. And we give them hope through the Word of God. So will you please consider and giving us our tax exemption? We've been doing it we've been putting it for many years. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker, Betty Williams. Followed by Pastor Harris when Betty is done.
Good afternoon. My name is Betty Williams. I reside at 193 Hawthorne Avenue, Central Islip, New York. I'm also from Living Proof, and I'm here also because the tax exempt. I'm on the trustee board, and we can do so much more for the community than what we're doing, but our taxes is so heavy that we can barely pay them. So we're asking you, please, to help us out and give us our tax exempt so we can go further and help in our community and doing what we can for the people and the people of God and anyone that needs it. But because of the tax exempt, we cannot do everything that we want to do. So please, we've been trying and trying for years. I've been with them for 21 years. That was my first lady that was just up here before myself, and my pastor will be coming up soon. And these are very wonderful people of God. They take nothing away. They give. We even give things to the children when they go back to school. So we need help to continue on our work for God. Thank you.
Thank you. Pastor Williams, followed by George Talley.
Good afternoon to our distinguished town supervisor and our entire, to our distinguished town supervisor and our distinguished board. I am Pastor Simeon Harris, and our church is at 105 2nd Avenue, Bayshore, New York. Our parent body has been in existence for 112 years, and we have been in existence for 27 years. 21 of those years, we have been paying taxes because they said we were in a one-family dwelling. We have been a blessing to the community. As my wife was saying, we have a venture crew, and you could look them up online, myscouting.org. We take them camping, we take them fishing, we teach them music, and that helps the young people. And we also have a pantry where we feed the hungry. We would very much like for you to consider restoring our tax exemption. We 2 years ago, just got our permit to build. And it is a very big blockage in our process to build because we have to pay a lot of taxes. So if you could help us out, we would most certainly appreciate it. God bless you, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Pastor. George Talley, followed by Pauline Brown.
Good afternoon, Madam Supervisor of the Board. My name is George Talley, from 44 Chapel Hill Drive, Vermont, New York. We have to reschedule a meeting for the parking lot. I've been in contact with Nicole because the members are quite upset. So we just have to talk a little bit further on that. You know, I've been coming here for years talking about the taxes, and the illegal hotels in Brentwood and what have you. I had a nice talk with Alexis White, and she set me straight. I've been coming here looking for something that you couldn't handle. It's the school district's problem. And I didn't realize it at that time, and now I do. We are starting to foil the different school districts, and we want to know how many children are coming out of different homes. And the seniors do not want to pay school taxes any longer, because they've been paying school taxes all these years when their kids went to school. Now the kids have graduated, they no longer feel they have to pay because the school district is allowing the illegal hotels, in Brentwood especially, but throughout Islip Township, where these landlords are collecting thousands of dollars of rent every month. They're sending multiple kids to the school districts, and nobody's paying any more than one single tax for those homes. When I started on Brentwood Wood, there were 14,000 kids in the Brentwood School District. We're now approaching 21,000. The flood coming over here has been somewhat subdued, but still, we have plenty of children here. And it's not the children we're focusing on. It's the landlords that we're focusing on who are collecting thousands of dollars in rent and are only paying one tax for their own households. It's strangling the school district and strangling the seniors. We now have a petition. We have members here from our Brentwood #1 Senior Club supporting both the parking lot and the fact that the seniors should not be paying taxes when the school district is not collecting the correct amount of tax from the landlords that are collecting multiple dwelling rents. I thank you very much for listening to me. If anybody would like to sign a petition for the seniors to stop paying school tax, we'll be outside. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Pauline Brown, and followed by Tim Mooney. Pauline is not here. Okay, Tim Mooney?
Good afternoon. My name is Tim Mooney. I'm president and owner of Fire Island Ferries, 99 Maple Avenue, Bayshore, New York. And I'd like to thank Madam Chair and the board sharing the passion that we do on here for town of Islip and Bayshore specifically. And I know it takes a lot to be able to sit behind that desk and you know, listen to the public come up here and discuss their needs and wills with you. I'm here today really wearing two hats. I have a business hat and I have a residence hat. And it's specifically with regard to the planned event that we have on the table for Alive by the Bay that Anthony had just spoken about a little while ago. I met with Anthony and Mike, and I guarantee you they learned a lot about putting an event on in Bayshore, especially one that is, you know, closing down Main Street. I've never been a big fan of closing down Main Street because I'm south of Main Street with the ferry company. But in conversations with Mike and Anthony, you know, the impact, we're trying to mitigate the impact as much as we can. In conversations today, they talked about leaving Maple Avenue, 4th Avenue intersection open. That goes a long way in helping relieve some of our concern about the traffic issues up and down Maple Avenue. But Wednesday night's our biggest weekday night at the ferry company. So not only are there, you know, restaurants and establishments here on Main Street in Bayshore, but there are, you know, 14 other establishments over on Fire Island that, you know, I feel directly responsible for as the transportation end of their needs. And, you know, when we talk about parking, we start adding all these things together. Just for a couple to go out to Fire Island for dinner, it's a minimum of $50. So, you know, anything that impacts our ability to get customers down the street or get access to our facility is significant. We've had all spring, I think you can all attest to that. Our revenues are down about 25%. And I'm hoping Mother Nature will cooperate with us moving forward. But this type of event, we just shut down our 1 a.m. boat out of Ocean Beach for exactly this type of event. Now, granted, it was later at night. Anthony and Mike assured us that they're going to do their best to try to control the crowds and manage that. We had 16 security guys on our boats and 6 cops in Ocean Beach and the 3rd precinct meeting the boat when we got back here every Saturday night. So we know what it takes to manage a crowd, and that was about 800 to 900 people, not 3,500 people to 5,000 people. So this, I don't want you to take this lightly. It's a challenge. These guys know it's a challenge. They've met with several people. I think they've expanded their breadth now at this point and taking more people into consideration. So with that, I just want to say that, this is a concern of mine as a resident and as a business owner, and we just don't want to create another St. Patrick's Day 4 more times a year. Thank you.
Nicola Farrell. You got it. Thank you. Don DeMario will be next.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nicola Farquharson. My address is 15 Marion Road, Brentwood, New York. I'm a member of the Living Proof Church of God in Christ, 105 2nd Avenue, Bayshore. I'm also one of the venturing crew. I'm the committee member of the venturing crew that we provide there for young people of the community. We do Bayshore, Brentwood, and Central Islip. We have boys and girls. It's a co-ed program where you have ages 13 to 21, where we provide the services for them. We take them different places. We teach them leadership skills, citizenship skills, and various different activities that we do with them. We also provide mentoring services for the Family League service, boys from ages 6 to age 10, twice per month, where we go by and we do the various activities with the young boys there. So I've been a member in Living Pro for over 6 years, and we really want to work more with the community. And then based on my understanding that they don't get a tax exempt for the 501c3. So I'm just here on behalf of the church and the youth of the community to see how best you can assist us with giving us that tax exempt. Thank you.
Thank you. Donna DeMaria, and on deck is Roy Seberg.
Donna DeMaria, 100 Middlesex Avenue, Hillsdale. Just have a short statement. Attached.
Bring the mic down.
I gave some photos.
Bring the mic down.
We all appreciate on Middlesex Avenue the understanding of the issues we have with the work that was done by contractor G&M Earth Moving and the town of Islip for the drainage project on Middlesex Avenue. Attached are some photos showing the damage to my property in this 100 Middlesex Avenue, which was caused by the workers' vehicles parking daily on the side of my property on Hollywood Drive. I am on the corner. They also consistently stored construction equipment, cement catch basins, and supplies over the entire time they were here, from May 2016 through November 2016. Where there was once professionally maintained lawn, there is now standing water collecting that has badly eroded the pavement on the edge of the road on Hollywood Drive that never goes away. Number one, to remedy this damage, I would like the town to extend the cement curbing from the end of the newly installed curb to the end of the property line that borders the wetlands on Hollywood Drive. The water pooling in this area has eroded the roadway below the original grade level, regrading pavement to allow the rainwater to flow into the existing drain on the corner of Hollywood and Middlesex. With or without a catch basin would certainly solve this issue. By protecting the border with a cement curb and leveling the road surface toward the existing drain, future damage could be avoided. Number two, the attached photos also show the flooding issues that still are unresolved with regard to the drainage ditch constructed by the town. The water is deep and unsafe, and again, never goes away. There is always water collected in the ditch. This is unsafe and a health hazard that in the summer months is a haven for mosquito larvae. The environment that exists now
creates the conditions that will only exacerbate the mosquito population that has proven to cause serious diseases such as Lyme disease and Zika virus. Number 3, the plantings were installed, poorly selected for the swamp-like environment created by the ditch. Most of them have rotted and are dead. The fact that the wetlands bordering the back side of the swale, as they call it, or as we refer to it, the sump, dries out as it always did, but the sump does not. This only underscores poor engineering design. We would like a more appropriate selection of mature grasses and plants. I'm done. Well, there's a copy of the letter that.
Thank you very much, Donna. The commissioner is here, and I'm sure they're taking notes, and someone will reach out to you. Roy Seberg, and on deck is Andy Cross. Roy Seberg. Okay, Andy Cross.
Andy Cross, 114 Brentwood Street in Bayshore, and I am here about 112 Brentwood Street in Bayshore, my next door neighbor house. The lady died almost 3 years ago, so the house has been vacant for 3 years. They cut the grass like once a month. It gets so big that the neighbor across the street from me has to cut the grass because they won't cut the grass. There was 2 sheds on the property that they took down, and they put all the debris in the garage. So now all that garbage is in the garage, it's vermin infested. Who knows what the house looks like because nobody's been in it. And there was a Craigslist scam for somebody to rent the house. Apparently she got a lease from somebody that said he owned the house, and she was moving in. She took garbage out of the house and threw it on the side of the house. The cops came, kicked her out. The garbage is still laying on the side of the house. So, and it's not boarded up. I called the bank maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and the bank told me that they can't board the house up, that you have to. So, this thing has been vacant for 3 years, so how come you haven't boarded it up yet, according to the bank? Anybody say anything?
Andy, it is on the agenda today for board cleanup.
That's why I'm here talking about it. But according to the bank, it should have been boarded up by you guys 3 years ago. And this is what the bank told. I offered to buy a place to keep people out of it, because 2 people have tried to move in like this. So, and now there's garbage inside the house, outside the house, in the garage. There's vermin all over the place. I was cutting my fence line this morning, and I got ticks on it from the house. So something's got to be done. Either clean it up and board it up to get all the vermin out of there, or demolish it. So that's it.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, Alexander Kirilova.
Good afternoon. My name is Alexander Kirilova. I live at 102 Joseph Avenue, Bayshore, New York. And I'm here to give you my issues and concerns with parking. And the gentleman that spoke prior, beforehand, he used the perfect terminology, hotels, okay? I live in a one-family house, 3 kids, 2 of them are my stepkids. I got a 21-month-old son, okay? I live on a dead-end street, and the town has disappointed me time in and time after time, okay? On March 14th, my street was snowed in, okay? The car, one of the houses parked on the middle of the block. I called the town safety. Officer came down, wrote down 10 tickets, including my car, because it was parked next to the mailbox, okay? So, I generated $450 for you guys, courtesy of me. That car was never towed, nothing. I sent in my response by mail, took a day off on May 23rd, hoping to see a judge. I got two town lawyers trying to negotiate with me for a lower fee, okay? I'm invited, I heard to the very end. If I'm wrong, I will have no problem saying I'm wrong. In this situation, I'm right. I complain about parking, how I live on a dead street. When you go up Joseph Avenue, on the left-hand side is my driveway. People throw their cars in my driveway. I have to call the third precinct almost every week to issue this, okay? Nothing's being done. I also reported that there's water waiting on my block. Nothing has been done so far. Also, I reported that the curb. So if you go down this block, okay, it says this is the street, the curb over here to the very end of the dead end street, it's broken into 3 pieces, 4 pieces, okay? Nothing's being done. Where's my return on investment on this? I'm paying all these taxes, and then there's a house on the block right now that's being listed for $40,000, $50,000, and it says one family. If you look at the photos and NLS listing, it shows 2 kitchens. So that means that there's going to be a hotel coming up on that. So they don't disclose that. So I recommend that you guys, every listing that comes up there, look at it, check it out, okay? This is how you're going to build up your revenue for the town of Islip. For me, what can you do for me? That's my issue here. I do the day off from work. I never got a single piece of letter in the mail saying, during an emergency snow, this is the rules of the town, okay? I have a 1-car driveway. When I'm supposed to park my car down the other end while everybody else throws their car on my side of the block, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. I can't be honest.
Thank you, Alexander, and I just asked someone from DPW if you would go out with him and get the particulars on this location as far as his issues with the curbing and everything. Thank you for coming down.
Thank you.
Thomas Santarelli, and on deck is Pat Montanino.
Thomas Santarelli, 402 North Park Avenue, Bay Shore. A month ago, the street sweeping machine came down my block, like last year, with no water in it. I stopped the driver. He showed me a trickle of water that's supposed to spray the brushes. So I called up the commissioner's office, and wasn't treated too well. And finally, I got to Caroline Smith. Now, I just want to tell you that when this dirt gets hurled up into the air, goes into houses, I happen to have asthma, and some of that dirt hits cars and may do some damage. So I spoke to Caroline Smith, and they said they were going to send the guy back again with water. But he did. He came flying down the street 30, 40 miles an hour, and he just didn't want to, that's the big kiss off from the commissioner's office. So I called Liz Finnegan from the Islip Bolton, and she made a phone call for me. Caroline Smith spoke to the commissioner, and he said that there's water in all of those trucks. Well, I have a photo showing no water in the truck. So the man's a liar. Would you like it? Can you give it to me?
Do you want to submit it?
Yeah, submit it. That's 2 years in a row now. Does he get one?
That right there.
The commissioner? You're the commissioner?
No.
Well, where is he? I'd like to-
The commissioner just stepped out to help a constituent, but there are other people here from the department who I am sure are taking notes. Thank you.
Who's going to take this?
Are you getting the photo for them?
Where should I leave?
That has to stay with the record.
Okay.
Well, I have another photo.
Okay, good.
Give us another photo and we'll give it to the commissioner. You will? Thanks. Great, thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Santorelli. Pam Montanino, and next is Thomas Mavro.
Pat Montanino, East Islip, New York. At the last board meeting, the board allowed a woman named Ms. Rinaldi to come up here and degrade a resident, lie to all the taxpayers, to the fact that she was the one up here speaking when residents at the April 25th meeting were being kept out of attending here in this room. You stating you did not tell them not to come in, even though clearly public safety guards remarked you said do not let them in. She also threatened Councilwoman Bergen to remember she was running this year. Ms. Collins, you actually sat there and applauded her and stated, people do not fact check. This similar remark, the one Hillary Clinton used, well, she was lying too. Ms. Rinaldi was not the person up here talking, another woman who specifically was timed out of finishing her comment and asked you, Mr. Flattering, if she should just call you. You lied to the residents. Ms. Carpenter replying, people don't fact check. You should take your own advice. This was all on video for TV, even though you make it so the voices cannot be understood. Why was the freedom of information for the ambulance exchange of Islip, by whom the taxpayers dime? The engineers are marking that property as we speak. Yesterday and in May, again, to rebuild a new building. This company has violated its lease along with you thinking you'll just financially rape the residents. A freedom of information request was put in and it stated the ambulance address does not exist. But yet, you gave that address that does not exist, you gave them a CO, and you gave them a lease so that they could be the ambulance people for the town of Islip. Another freedom of information for zoning and planning agendas. You denied them. I guess we're really getting hot onto something here. And you refused to send them electronically. You decided to charge me $200. I guess transparency is not an option here. You don't want the taxpayers to know what is going on. Thank you.
Thank you. Thomas Morrow? Morrow or Mavro? Don Urquhart? Next on deck is Judy Frankel.
She said the best will happen.
Can you hear me in the back?
Yeah.
Okay, Don Urquhart, 75 Allen Drive, Forward. This board claimed that it doesn't schedule evening meetings because no one attends. Yet in April, public safety had a lockout overflow crowd of more than 100 people. And they were out there for hours while seats remained empty in this chamber. And we know that the fellow who spoke the truth about what happened is no longer with us. What I have here, I have petitions signed by hundreds of people requesting evening meetings. So I would submit to this board that your working constituents are certainly entitled to equal time, along with your your clients and your campaign contributors. So how about giving them equal time to schedule evening meetings?
Next, unmarked trucks continue to dump potentially tainted construction and demolition debris on the Furrows Road parcels on piles that certainly exceed the height limits that were imposed by settlement. DEC and the town refused to test those materials or to provide air monitoring. If we learned anything from Roberto Clemente, it's propensity for New York City construction and demolition debris that is illegally dumped to contain harmful contaminants. We have on those parcels hundreds of thousands of cubic yards of illegally dumped construction and demolition debris buried at depths of over 30 feet. Yet we didn't get monitoring wells. More and more of our neighbors are diagnosed with potentially related respiratory illnesses and cancers. So, what's more? When are you going to act? Now, I'm going to speak to the camera, the Islip taxpayers, since I can get no answers or responses from this board. Islip taxpayers, you should know that the building at 190 Carlton Avenue was built by the town in 1990 for exchange ambulance. Its only occupant. The license stipulates that the exchange is responsible for all repairs. The only structural assessment on that structure since 1990 indicates that there's some damage from settling and the repairs would cost somewhere around $160,000. Yet recently, an engineering firm / construction firm / campaign contributor recommended complete replacement, but provided no technical justification. Your board has earmarked over $6 million in debt for what is at best a want and not a need to replace that structure. The board to date is unwilling or unable to provide any structural assessment that justifies complete replacement of that structure. As we all know, in these tough times, we have to make tough choices and make it. Somehow that exchange, whose permit or whose license says they're responsible for it all, seems to get special consideration. So in the end, you and your children will have to carry that burden. So I think you have a right to know whether it's necessary. And transparency continues to elude this administration. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Next speaker, Judy Frankel, followed by Vanessa Lopez.
My name is Judy Franco. I live in Holbrook. And I want to thank the board for letting me speak, and also the last 2 meetings I have complained about the debris and broken fence on Farmers Road, and somebody actually came and fixed it and picked up all the garbage, and I'm very, very grateful. They mowed the lawn on the side, and it really looks much better, and it's not a safety hazard. But I also have a complaint about 615 Farmers Road, and I'd like to know what, if anything, is being done to enforce the laws already on the books that about the illegal sand mining and the illegal dumping on that property. And that's polluting our groundwater because they're digging and digging and digging and digging and digging. They do this all night long, and I know for a fact because on Sunday, June 18th, I was returning home. I live off Forest Road, and I smelled a toxic odor. It smelled like asphalt being laid or dumped, and it was absolutely horrendous. And on many occasions, when I do call about the complaint and complain about the toxic odors that I smell, somebody does eventually show up. But the problem is, when they come, the smell is gone. So I was wondering if there would be any possibility of putting in a monitor to monitor the odors that come from that address, because it is absolutely, I mean, at 11 o'clock at night, on a Sunday night, there shouldn't be that kind of an odor in a residential area. And I don't care what, they're doing something, and they're not doing it, they do it in broad daylight, they do it 24 hours a day. And it cannot be healthy. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Judy. Vanessa Lopez. And next speaker, Sal Cataldi.
Hello, my name is Vanessa Lopez. I live on 3 Lexington Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. I'm representing the Brentwood Youth Activities, and I'd like to come to you to thank you for allowing us to have our 60th celebration at the BYA. We are proudly servicing the youth of Brentwood, Central Islip, and Bayshore, and we're very excited to celebrate 60 years of that, and we want to thank you and thank Tom Owens for the help for allowing us to do that. I'm also coming to you as a concerned parent and citizen of Brentwood. My children love to play basketball, and I've been requesting, I've sent some emails, I haven't had responses. We need more time at the Brentwood Rec Center. The kids right now currently only have 1 day a week. As you know, we had a horrible spring, and the kids are stuck in the house a lot, and there's nowhere to go. Timberline Park's under construction. They can go to schools, but the schools don't have lights at night, and it's dangerous. As you know, Brentwood is suffering great tragedy this year with our loss, and there's a lot of kids that have nowhere to go. So I just want to express my concern and pretty much implore you to put that at the top of your agenda with the children of Brentwood and Central Islip and Bayshore. They need a safe haven. That's why I volunteer for Brentwood Youth Activities, because I'm passionate on the fact that the youth just need to be busy, and they need to be busy with good things. So if you can help us with that, it would be great. 1 or 2 or 3 days a week extra for the kids to go play basketball. It would really mean a lot to me as a mother, single mother in Brentwood.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you for your passion and service to the kids in the community. And I think I can speak for all of the members of the board who are very concerned about having things and places for our kids to go. And I think maybe you weren't here earlier, but the commissioner did address the fact that the basketball courts at Clemente Park are being refinished or refurbished and will be open hopefully shortly.
We're excited about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and congratulations on the 60th anniversary.
Thank you.
Sal Cataldi. And Michelle Fleming will be up next.
Sal Cataldo, 45 South Connecticut Avenue, Bayshore. I think if my name was Bolson or Lessing, you probably wouldn't mispronounce it. And I probably would get better treatment in my restaurants than I do right now. I'm very disappointed that we lost the entertainment at Islip Beach that everybody seemed shocked about. Last year I was brought in January, and I was told if we did away with entertainment on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, they would leave us alone. They sent the police down there for 2.5 years that we were open, never found the music to be loud, came down with sound meters, they registered half of what was legally allowed. We stop at 8:30 at night. That's when all the other places start to come alive. That's when you get Alive and 5 Alive, whatever it is. But we don't breed drunks. We have a family restaurant. We give very reasonable prices. All right. And when I said that about Bolson and Lessing, they both been to my place, had nice things to say, so it's not a dig against them. But I never really see anybody from this board down at either restaurant. And we're very, very upset. We ran karaoke, we had children, we had senior citizens that don't have a lot of time left down there having fun, singing, not really candidates for the voice, but having a lot of fun, having good family fun that you can't really get. We closed at 8:30, we stopped at 9, we stopped the music at 8:30. I'm walking my dogs in the backyard in Bayshore. I live south of Montauk, and I hear loud music, people screaming and yelling till all hours of the night from places on the water. These places do in a week more than we do in a season. We had a bad September, we had a terrible June, and now that we have no entertainment, it's going to hurt us a lot. And we're going to stay there. Whether we make money, whether we break even, or we lose money, we're still going to be there. Because the people have been great in this town. They treat us like family, we treat them like family, everybody gets along. Not everybody's rich and famous. You come and eat there, you can afford to eat there. We don't breed drunks. You can't come there with a bus and fill it up with drunks. We never serve anybody underage. And like I heard other speakers say, this Alive at 5 is going to be like, when it's St. Patrick's Day, where I live, I leave for the day, and I don't come back until late at night. I don't want to deal with any of that. And I came from the bar restaurant business. And the day, God forbid, that an underage drinker or somebody drunk leaves your properties that you rent to and kills somebody, you're going to see lawsuits that are going to get head spin. And we don't do any of that at Islip Beach. Yet we don't even have a sign saying there's a beach down there. I get people from Texas, Virginia, New Hampshire. They come to our place, people in Minnesota visiting the Trade Center, see pictures of this beach that both the town and us being beautiful, come all the way there. And there's people in this town that don't even know there's a beach there. And it's an embarrassment, and I'm not here to fight with you. I'm very, very disappointed in you. I'm very disappointed that you did that, not to me, but to the residents that are enjoying a couple of short months of summer and are having clean family fun. Because if I go to these other places, I gotta push through a crowd of drunks. And to me, that's not fun. But what was going on here was clean fun. We closed early. I know. But like I said, it was always closed early, and we're still gonna run it right. But we're gonna really miss the entertainment. And you guys did it to us.
Thank you, Sal. And just to set the record straight, I don't think it was no entertainment, I think it was no amplified music. Michelle Fleming? And on deck, Ed McMahon? Michelle Fleming? Ed McMahon? Are these jokes? These are jokes? Michael Hardy? Sharon Semino?
Good afternoon, I'm Sharon Semino, 37 Orchard Drive, Whitewaters. I'm here actually to speak about two things. One, I'd like to thank the board and the town of Islip for the special needs dance program that just wrapped up 2 weeks ago with David Sanders. It was another wonderful year that my daughter benefited from, and a lot of people don't realize the disability programs that you do have for our children, so thank you for that. I'm also here, as usual, to speak about the new Islip animal shelter proposal. And that same daughter gave me her piggy bank to bring today to show you what it would cost the taxpayer every year to do the new shelter as proposed. $4, I believe, was the latest estimate. I have that correct. So for a cup of Starbucks, it would probably be used better to do the Islip animal shelter. In the past meetings, I spoke about issues mostly concerned with the cats, but today I'd like to tell you about some rescue shelter dogs that I've adopted. Of the 3 dogs I've adopted, 2 have gone on to become registered therapy dogs. For 6 years, my dog Bella has been a therapy dog for both East and Sarah Learning Center. She's also visited Good Samaritan Nursing Home and multiple ACLD sites and group homes for developmentally challenged adults. Her most recent assignment is being one of Northwell Hospital's animal therapy dogs at Southside. In fact, she has her own security badge with her ID, so she was given back to the town of Islip. While visiting, I once witnessed a woman in a coma blink her eyes just by the touch of my rescued shelter dog. During another therapy visit, I saw a nurse cry with joy and seeing her severely depressed patient finally crack a smile after weeks. My dog has made a scared little girl in a hospital bed giggle for the first time in days. I've often watched Bear bring such comfort to hospice patients and their families during their last hours of life. I once had a patient tell me that doctors told her that she would be in a hospital for at least a week for her illness. However, I found out that 2 days after our visit, she was discharged from the hospital for quick improvement. I can no longer call Bella Bear a rescue dog. She is in fact a rescuer. What a sin it would have been if her life had not been spared after being surrendered by her former owner. How tragic for this dog to have been euthanized by a shelter due to lack of space or resources. How many humans would never have had the benefit of her visits? It saddens me to think how many shelter dogs never get to see the potential my dogs, Bella Bear and Grover, have. Their lives would have been stripped away had they not been given that chance. One day, you or your loved one may actually be the one benefiting from a shelter dog or a service dog that has come from the Islip Animal Shelter. Please think about that when you cast your vote on the new Islip Shelter proposal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sharon. That are all
All those who have signed up to speak, motion to close the public portion.
Motion to close the public portion.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman Flatter. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is closed. We will go to the agenda. First item on the agenda, the appropriation transfers. Any questions? Hearing none, motion.
Motion approved.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Next are the bid awards. Any questions? Hearing none, motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Mullen, second. Second by Councilman Flatter. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Next is the option year resolutions. Any questions? Hearing none, motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Bergen,
Second.
second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? Is approved. Item number 4 is to secure, clean up, or board up various properties in the town of Islip. Taryn, we did get your memo about the ones being removed. But I'm so happy that 112 Brentwood Street is on the agenda, given the speakers that came and spoke in favor of having something done.
I also had someone from the bank come for that property earlier. So
Okay, good.
Good afternoon, Madam Supervisor, members of the Town Board, Town Clerk, Taryn Kuzinski, Assistant Town Attorney, the Town of Islip, 655 Main Street, Islip, New York. Number 1, to board and clean out the premises located at 18 John Street, Bayshore. This vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Just for the record, I just noticed the address. 3 of those speakers that I called that were not here came to speak on 18 John Street. So I guess they felt comfortable leaving. Motion?
Make a motion to clean up.
Motion by
Second.
Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Flatter, and all those in favor? Opposed is approved.
Number 2 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 3 has also been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 4, to board and clean up the premises located at 81 Woodlawn Avenue, Ronkonkoma. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, an unsecured detached garage, high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Flatter, and second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved.
Number 5 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 6, to clean up the premises located at 112 Brentwood Street, Bayshore. On this property, there now exists high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
This is also to a parcel that a number of speakers came to address, Mr. Cross being one of them. Can you tell me how soon someone might be there, do you know?
Well, we gave the bank today, they showed up, a representative from Raspareskin, so we gave them 2 weeks to bring the property into compliance, otherwise we're going to go out.
All right, so at the very worst, it'll be in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Question.
Question,
This is
Councilman
clean up.
Cochran?
This is not board up?
It's not.
Just clean up, okay.
Question, also another question, came up about, is the bank responsible, or the town's responsible? The owner of the property is the bank, so they're the one responsible, but they're not actually responsible, then you'll have to do the cleanup. Okay.
Motion?
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed is approved.
Number 7, to board and clean up the premises located at 114 Peterson Street, Brentwood. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, evidence of squatters, unregistered vehicles, an unsecured detached garage, high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Mullen, second by Councilman Flatter, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, it is approved.
Number 8 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 9 has also been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 10, to board and clean up the premises located at 924 Easton Street, Ronkonkoma. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows, high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Bergen.
Second.
Second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? Is approved.
Number 11, to board and clean up the premises located at 1658 Wisconsin Avenue, Bohemia. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? Is approved.
Number 12 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. That's it.
Thank you very much, Karen. Next item on the agenda is approval to permit the town's animal shelter and adopt pet center to accept monetary and non-monetary gifts and gifts of services from the public and or businesses for the benefit of animals at the shelter and the surrounding community. Any questions? Motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second by Councilman Flaherty. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Next item is meeting of the Town of Islip Resource Recovery Agency. Call for motion for the board to convene.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? The agency board meeting is convened with a quorum being present. Mr. Heil.
Good afternoon, Madam President, and members of the board. My name is James Heil, 401 Main Street, Islip. Resolutions are, the first one is the approval of minutes for the April 25th meeting of the agency.
Motion
Any
to approve.
questions? Motion by Councilwoman
Second.
Bergen, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Is approved.
Second is a resolution authorizing the president to negotiate a shared service agreement with the town of Brookhaven for further development of recycling and reuse of ash generated by regional waste-to-energy facilities at no cost.
Any questions?
Motion approved.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Mr. Heil, I just want to, for the record, thank you for helping put this together. And these kinds of shared services agreement is something that we as a municipality are under a mandate now, although this happened well before any kind of mandates by the governor to all municipalities across the state to enter into shared services agreement, enter into dissolving of excess agencies or layers of government in an interest or in an effort to diminish the responsibilities as far as taxpayers' indebtedness. We have been working in that direction, and it is something that is requiring a lot of the resources of the town, attending meetings. Every county executive across the state has been charged with pulling together all of the elected officials from all of the municipalities. The school districts are not included. However, if they choose to participate, they can, but it's basically, everyone else. So thank you for helping us achieve our goal.
It's always a pleasure to meet with other towns and discuss solid waste management issues.
I'll leave that to you. Next item.
You're cordially invited, of course. Authorization for the president to enter into a contract extension with Tully Environmental Incorporated for the hauling of a landfill leachate from the Blydenberg Road landfill to a disposal location. This is a two-year extension ending in 2018.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Mullen, second by Councilman Flyer. And all those in favor?
Recused.
Opposed? With one recusal.
Resolution 5 authorizes the president to enter into an agreement with D&B Engineers and Architects to provide professional engineering services related to the design and preparation of bid documents for the replacement of the motor control center and for additional processing equipment at the RAP facility, the recycling facility on Lincoln Avenue. This is a cost not to exceed $77,750.
Any questions?
Motion approved.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? Is approved.
Next is a resolution authorizing the president to execute an amendment of leases of the agency property at the Blydenberg Road landfill and the Lincoln Avenue landfill for the installation of solar panel power generation projects. It's a modification of an existing lease agreement.
Okay, any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Flannery, second by Councilman Mellon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved.
Last resolution is authorizing the board of the agency board to appoint Linda M. Bundy as secretary of the agency. Linda will be replacing Catherine, who will be resigning her position as secretary in 1 short month. Ms. Bundy will be appointed for a term of 5 years, expiring on July 30th, 2022. And Ms. Bundy is here. If she'd like to stand up and say hello.
Congratulations and thank you, and congratulations to Catherine, who we
Tough act to
understand is retiring after
Yes.
how many years?
I don't want to mention years when it's talked about discussing the board.
Decades. Terrific service to the town and the agency, Catherine. We really appreciate it. Thank you. We have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Flatter, and all those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Any other business? There being none, motion to adjourn the agency by Councilman Mullin, second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? The Resource Recovery Agency Board meeting is adjourned. We now go to item number 7, authorization for the supervisor to renew the agreement with Cedric Legret to provide dock master services for the Fair Harbor Dock District for 2017. Any questions? Hearing none, motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? Is approved. Number 8 is an approval to permit the Youth Bureau to host drop-off sites throughout the town to collect donations for the Winter Coats Donation Drive Program. And also, number 9, same motion for the school supply donation drive program. Is there a motion for both?
Motion for that.
Thank you. Councilman Mullen makes that motion. Second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? Both items 8 and 9 are approved. They really do a fine job. Councilman Mullen, thank you. I know you have a drop-off site, had prom dresses. There was an article in the paper, and Maria Figueroa came over with the paper yesterday to show me one of the students we had recognized at Student Achievement Night in April, which, by the way, was one of the reasons we had 100 over people here that evening, because we were honoring 30 students and their parents. So that was why we had an overflow crowd that night. But one of the young ladies we honored with Student Achievement was in the picture with the prom dresses. So to anyone who participated and make that happen, thank you so much. Next item is item 10, is an authorization for the supervisor to execute an agreement with ND RU for an on-call environmental services at Long Island MacArthur Airport. Any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Flatteren, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Item 11, authorization for supervisor to enter into an agreement with the New York State Division of Military and Naval Affairs for the lease of certain property at Long Island MacArthur Airport. Any questions?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Next item is an authorization for the supervisor to execute an airline use agreement with Frontier Airlines to provide airline service at Long Island MacArthur Airport. To the commissioner and her team, thank you very much for having helped effectuate this. Frontier Airlines is going to be starting service at Long Island MacArthur Airport, 1 flight a day, every day of the week, up and down to Orlando. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman
Second.
Fowler and second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Item 13 is an authorization for the supervisor to execute an agreement with Family Residences and Essential Enterprises, known as FREE, for the operation of a food and beverage concession in the main terminal atrium at Long Island MacArthur Airport. That is going to be very welcome to have that food service there as people first come into that main area of the airport. Any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Flatteren, second. Second. By Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 14 is an authorization for the supervisor to enter into a contract with Government Pay Services, GoPay, to provide data processing and collection services via the website maintained by Fundamental Business Services. This will allow people not to have to come in, not to have to send a check, but they can go online and pay their summonses. Last year, there were over 14,000 transactions, so this ability to pay online will, I'm sure, be very welcome. Any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Flower. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Item 15 is an acceptance of funds from the Suffolk County Water Authority for the paving and restoration of certain roads in Brentwood due to recently installed water mains. Any question? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second?
Second.
By Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? Is approved. Item 16, an authorization with the supervisor to execute an access use agreement with Stout Construction to use a portion of the Maple Avenue dock for purposes of loading and unloading construction-related materials on the dock. Any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? Is approved. Item 17, authorization with the supervisor to enter into an agreement with J.K. Kayak to provide kayaking and paddleboard lessons at the East Islip Marina. Any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second.
Second.
By Councilman Flower. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. This is one of the many services or programs available to kids this summer through Parks and Recreation. It takes an awful lot of coordination and effort, but kids really enjoy it. Next item on the agenda is the meeting of the Town of Islip Industrial Development Agency. Call for a motion for the board to convene.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Flatter, second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? The agency board meeting is convened with a quorum being present. And Mr. Maddox, the birthday boy, happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
You may begin.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the agency board, William Maddox, Executive Director, Town of Islip Industrial Development Agency, 40 Nassau Avenue, Islip. We have a number of items for your consideration today, the first of which is the approval of the minutes of the May 23rd meeting.
A motion for the approval of the minutes.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Mullen, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? The minutes are approved.
Next item on the agenda is the authorization to enter into a contract with Executive Consultants of New York for the very popular Islip Job Search Boot Camp. We're proposing to bring it back again after a year's absence. This is a very popular program, free to our residents who are looking either to find a job when they have none right now or to upgrade into a higher position. And we have found through 3 previous rounds of this job search boot camp that the residents are very appreciative, and in fact the metrics for the program have been very strong. There are very many of our participants report receiving new jobs within a very short period of time after the program is over.
The numbers were very impressive. She does a fine job. And do you have the start date of that?
It will be in the fall, September. We do have the room scheduled. It's mid-September. So it will be 8 consecutive sessions here in the town boardroom, and then there are 3 follow-up sessions, and all of that is free to our residents.
Okay. Any questions?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Flower. All those in favor? Opposed? Is approved.
The next 3 items on the agenda are new projects to the agency in the form of inducement resolutions, the first of which involves Brightview Sayville LLC, which is a proposed assisted living facility on Broadway Avenue in Sayville. Let me first say that we are joined today by Maria Miller from Brightview, who's back in the corner over there. And I would like to say that this is the 3rd such assisted living facility we provided assistance to over the years. What we find is that they are very good investments in our community with housing that is desperately needed for the aging seniors. Thanks for mentioning my birthday today. I'll be there soon, I think. And now I have 2 options in Sayville where I live, where I can go. But they also invest a great deal of money. This project will result in an investment of just shy of $64 million. And they will employ over 78 people in full-time equivalency positions, and those are actually good-paying jobs with the lowest salary for part-time workers, close to $18 an hour, plus benefits after that. So we're very happy to put this in forward.
Terrific. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman
Second.
Flower, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? Disapproved.
Next item on the agenda is an inducement resolution for M&M Canvas and Awning. If the name sounds familiar to some of the board members, it was only, I think, about 2 short years ago that we attracted this small company. They're a manufacturer of canvas and awning products from Huntington. And they are growing, so they're taking additional space in their location on Orville Drive in Islandia. So they currently employ 20. They'll be adding another 8 and investing $2.75 million.
Terrific. Any questions? Motion? Motion. Motion by Councilman Mullins, second.
Second.
By Councilman Flower. All those in favor? Opposed? Disapproved.
And the third of the inducement resolutions is between the agency and Town Bus Corporation. Also looking to locate on Hoffman Lane in Islandia. They would be purchasing an existing bus depot facility and creating 160 new jobs. And I should say investing $3.2 million at the same time.
Motion?
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Councilman Flower, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? Is approved.
Next two items are authorization for refinancing of existing projects, the first of which involves 267 Carlton Avenue, which is a Class A office building, obviously on Carlton Avenue in Central Islip.
Motion. Motion by Councilman Bergen. Second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? Is approved.
And the next is an authorization for refinancing for Cookies United, which is located on Freeman Avenue in Islip.
Motion. Motion by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? Is approved. Is there any other business?
I have no other business.
Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
By Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman Flatteren. The ID8 board is adjourned. Okay. We now move to item 19, special events. We have a number of block parties, 5K races, and many more. Before we vote on all of these events, I'm going to make a motion to separate out the special events labeled FF and OO, which have to do with the Alive at 5 or 4, whatever, in Bayshore. Based on the comments that were made, I think we'll take that one separately. So is there a motion on the special events?
Well, I'm just a little confused what are we doing with the ones we're taking out?
We're taking them out and we will vote on them separately. So we'll just do the majority of them. So I'm going to make the motion to separate the special events labeled FF and OO, which we will address shortly, and make the motion or ask for a motion to approve all of the other events.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Councilman Flatteren. Second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? All of the events, with the exception of FF and OO, have been approved. So now we have FF and OO before us, which is the Alive by the Bay. It's not on your sign here. Based on the number of concerns that were raised and the comments made by Mr. Tartaglia, where you suggested maybe doing a trial, making some adjustments to the numbers of blocks that you're closing or the blocks that you'd have open. I'm going to presume, maybe I'm wrong, that you have not taken a revised road plan to the precinct, because that would affect the traffic movement and the numbers of people they would have to employ. But because this event has been advertised and advertised heavily and kind of going to be on us shortly, I thought that an option for us would be to table it today, and put it on the agenda of our change of zone meeting, which we are having this coming Thursday evening. It will give you the opportunity, the organizers of the event, to speak with whomever you need to speak with and get back to us before close of business on Thursday with the revised plans. And check with the town attorney, I would guess they could
That will go.
get that information to you. You can contact them, tweak whatever it needs to be tweaked, and then we'll be looking at something a little bit more, hopefully palatable to everybody involved. Okay?
Thank you.
So you're very welcome. Thanks for coming down today. So we have a motion, and I'm asking for a motion to table
Make a motion to table.
by Councilman Cochran, FF and OO, and second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is tabled and will be before us as an action item, no public hearing on Thursday evening. Okay, so that takes us then to, I believe, item 20, is an authorization to execute a professional service agreement with Video High Tech Corp., DBA and War Video for production equipment, software, and services for the town board. Any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Mullins, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. The next item is an appointment of Lisa Marie McCaffrey to the Youth Board. She is a Girl Scout leader and has been for many, many years, and is just stepping down from that position. Has worked with young people for a long, long time, so I think she'll be a tremendous asset. Any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second. By Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. The next item is an authorization for the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to consider enacting local law number 2 of 2017, amending local law number 3 of 1989 as it relates to 68-335 of the Islip Town Code. Any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Mullins, second. Second by Councilman Flower. All those in favor? Opposed? Is approved. Final item on the agenda today is an approval for the co-sponsorship of the Islip Town Volunteer Firemen's Association Parade to be held Saturday, August 12th in East Islip. Any questions? Hearing none, motion? Motion. Motion by Councilman Flower, second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. We stand adjourned. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.